And we're back for another episode of Midlife My Ass. I'm just getting started. I'm thrilled to have Russ Johns with me. Russ, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm humbled and full of gratitude for being on the show, Lonnie.
Thank you. Guys, Russ is like a warm cookie that just came out of the oven and you just want to gobble him up. He's just such a love bug and has had an incredible life that I can't wait to tell you about. In part, we're gonna focus right in for the next 10 minutes on what it took to actually bust a move. Russ, you started something called Next Step Next.
I did. You know, Next Step Next was an evolution from a long career in an industry, radio broadcast, television, outdoor advertising. And back in 2002, when Clear Channel was gobbling up all of the organizations, that was I was in an organization that was gobbled up by that acquisition phase. And so I was left, after 15 years of working in an organization and building a career, and all of a sudden you're out in the cold and as I call it, the corporate orphanage. You have to reinvent yourself. So it's like, okay, what's next? And so I started Next Step Next as a company to bring people together to form new projects, collaborate, make interesting things happen. And it's just evolved over time, and it's still going.
What I love about this story is that you didn't know what was next, but you made something next happen in spite of the unknown. You take one step at a time. So midlife is that pivotal moment, and it happens at any age in which we're not sure what's next. Who are we next? What would be the most fun next? I mean, that's what I'm all about. That's my war cry. How can we have more fun with whatever's available right now? And it wouldn't be fun to be let go of a corporation after that many years invested. But tell them what you decided to do.
Well, what I did at the time was, because of everything that I had invested in the company, the corporation, and my history with that organization, is I took a break. I took a year off. I got divorced. I was divorced. I chose to be homeless. So I bought my camping gear and a mountain bike, and I toured around the country and went mountain biking and camping for a year, wrote journals, and reinvented who I was and what I was doing. Because I think anytime you have a midlife episode of any kind, you really need to be able to reinvent and redefine what you believe, what you feel, and who you are, because it's so important to understand what you need in order to change and go out there and kick ass.
Well, that was quite a big step, because you went from a lot of knowns from being married for 18 years?
18 years, yeah.
18 years. You're suddenly divorced and unemployed in the same week.
Yeah.
And then you decide to do this radical thing, live out of your car and hit the road. Like, that to most people would seem crazy, but it was probably what I call the big yes inside. It felt right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I had this, this condition that is wanting to please people around me. And sometimes when you have this opportunity to please others around you, you give up a lot of yourself. And what I needed to do for myself was find out who I was, find out how I could be okay with being by myself, be who I am with what I needed to do. Journaling, writing, traveling, seeing sights, just meditating and understanding, take a pause and just say, okay, who am I and where do I go with who I am? And it's not necessarily an easy journey. And there's been, my life has been challenged in many different areas. And at the same time, I am so amazingly blessed. It's just, I've lived an amazing life. I've had some incredible experiences that, I'll have to write a book someday. And also, I think it's really important for us to understand that everybody has a gift. Everybody has a way to understand and articulate some of the experiences we've had. and share that experience. So I think what you're doing right now is part of that equation. It's like, let's get this out because everybody can relate to it.
Indeed. And thank you for that. It's so important to be able to recognize that we do have whatever we need now and next, because so many people get stuck on the how. And if we just stay focused on the what, the how makes itself known one step at a time. Next step next, which is what I love about what you're doing. The truth is that we don't need to have the traffic part unless we're standing in the next lane. Then the traffic can slow down and wave us through. With standing on the corner, staying on the curb is not going to do it. They don't need to move for us. We just have to move forward and watch how things will unfold for us.
Yeah. And sometimes allowing things to take place, because we get so wrapped up in what if, how come, what is this? And life is here for us. It's not doing anything to us. It's for us, and enjoying ourselves by ourselves, I think, is an important part of that puzzle, and the things that we need to do by ourselves to add value to the world. And the more I give away, the more joy I have. The more joy I have, the more I can help. So it's this circle of influence by understanding and caring about what other people are doing.
You've made an interesting jump from FOPO, fear of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
to being able to give and yet still have your boundaries and not let it stop you cold in your tracks, because that happens so often, doesn't it? Do you have a tip, a particular idea that the listeners can use right now so that FOPO doesn't keep them stuck where they are?
Yeah. If you're suffering from fear of judgment or fear of other people measuring your success or what you're doing, just realize that 99.9% of the time, nobody cares. You can go out and do your thing, and what people care about is what they are doing, not what you are doing. And you have an influence to impact your life in a much more positive way if you're doing what you need to do for you. And realize that the other people around you is only their reaction to what you're doing, not what you're doing.
That is so beautifully said. What a gem. That's it, guys. Hit repeat on that part, because that is absolutely everything that will help launch you from where you're currently at to where you think you want to be next. And you may not know, and that's okay. I don't know is the beginning of new possibilities. But if what you know is that you're letting somebody else's opinion of you keep you stuck, you could just put that away right now. That's just a decision.
Yeah, just sit that off to the side. That's not necessary for your progress.
Yes, indeed. Guys, if you want to just get your life lit up and your heart warmed, I highly recommend that you reach out to Russ Johns. You just couldn't find a finer, more experienced, worldly, savvy, kind-hearted, beautiful soul to talk with, to elevate where you want to be, to innovate the new person that you want to become. Because innovation is where it's at. You either innovate or you get left behind, right?
Absolutely.
So where can people reach you, Russ?
The best way to reach out to me, and I believe that conversation is where it really takes place, is just go to bookruss.com and schedule a time. I'll book some times open for Lonnie's community here. And just go ahead, book Russ, schedule a time. We'll get on the phone, and if you have questions, you have ideas you want to share, you want something to bounce off, or you need somebody just to chat with for a few minutes, I will schedule time and leave it open for you to book a time, and we'll have a conversation.
Wonderful, Russ. Your generous heart shows everywhere you go and leaves us a trail of smiles in its wake. That's just who you are. Thank you for being such a stunning example of possibility and probability, because you are a shining soul on the planet who has taken on unknowns and rocked it every single time. You're just amazing.
Thank you. All the generosity in the world is going back to you, Lonnie. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having the time to share your brilliance with us here on Midlife My Ass. Guys, please look up and look out for Russ Johns. He's an incredible person on the planet you want to align with for sure. And that'll change your world too. This is Lonnie Ray, and I'm out for now, but I'll be back.